everyone. Welcome to my home. My name is Lisa Abbey and this is Lisa Abbey's Needleworks. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I hope you find something interesting in my video. I like to do a bunch of different things, so hopefully there's something in there in the whole mess that is interesting to you. I thank you for joining me, and if you're a subscriber, I appreciate you and welcome back. This could be interesting because I'm down on the floor and my dogs seem to want to be in my area, so this could be interesting. We're gonna give it a shot. Don't have a whole lot of things finished, other than my Christmas decorations are pretty much up. The cookie exchange that I host every year is next Wednesday. So my goal was to try to get everything put out and the remainder things that I didn't use put away. So I think that should be a doable process today. I'm just kind of going through each room trying to figure out exactly if I want to add anything else, and if not, today's the last day. It's going to be put away after today. Hope everybody's having a good week. We're having a little bit of a snowstorm here. It's been pretty. We haven't had a lot of accumulation, thankfully, but see my new sheep I got. I went to the thrift store and I was just breezing through before work, and I thought, okay, you don't have much time, just hit your main spots and then get to work. And I was in the checkout line and I saw these two sheep. Let's see if I can move a little bit so you can see both of them. There's one with its head down and then one with its head up. Anyway, super cute. And I thought they were like heavy cement. And there was two other ladies kind of eyeballing them. So I'm just like, I didn't even hesitate. I just kind of saw the price. They had them for $20 a piece. And I was like, score. So the ladies, I was looking at the ladies in the checkout because they were calling me up to go to the next register. And I'm like, oh, do I need these sheep? And they're like, oh, yeah, probably, you know. And then these other two ladies started looking at them. I'm like, okay, I'm buying them. Because, you know, at the thrift store, you have to be decisive. Snooze, you lose. So anyway, so they're my new elements for my yard. But I haven't wanted to be outside too much because either it's raining or it's been cold or snowy. So I haven't found an ideal spot for them. I'm afraid that we've had so much wind lately. I'm afraid if I just set them out anywhere, they might tip over and break an ear or something. So I'm going to wait till the ideal time. I looked them up on Google. I Googled them. And they are, I think it was like $100 and something for like the standing up one and like a little baby. They still offer them. But anyway, I was excited. I was kind of bummed that they were made in China, but so many things are made in China. But we won't digress there. I don't have any fully finished products. I was a slacker. I kept thinking last night, I thought, boy, if you finish that Halloween thing, you could really show it off. But Halloween's over, and I had absolutely no desire to work on that. So we'll show you what I have been working on. I have been working a little bit on Little House Needleworks, Winter ABCs. So last time I showed it, I think I was through the S, which in person it shows up a lot better. The white shows up a lot better in person than it is on the video. But I had through S done, and I've got all the way down through Z and have the majority of this tree done. I just need to do a little, I think, basket of flowers or something. I went back in and I did some of the French knots for the eyes for the snowmen. And I was supposed to put some French knots on the skate, but stay back, Marsh. But I wasn't too excited about how my French knots were turning out today, so I'm just like, I think the skates look good without them. So I did work a little bit on my Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais, because she's my fave. And I don't remember exactly where I was on the last time I showed this. I'm doing it on 28 count, and I'm doing it 1/1. I'm pretty sure I finished this little tree here, which it's not finished yet, and then I did this little box with the sheep in it, and I think the grass under the tree. Let's see. Anyway, I'm overall pretty happy with how it's going along. I was kind of worried, thinking that I wasn't going to be able to see it very good, but as long as I have the right number cheaters on, I do pretty good. And if I could just get Marshall to quit chewing them up, honest to Pete, if I don't put them up someplace where he won't get them, he chews them up. And then he has a pile outside by the garage that he puts all his treasures. So if you're looking for your shoes and you can't find them, or, you know, like in this case, my cheaters, you just go out to his pile, and most likely you'll find your item there in his treasure. Sometimes they're chewed up. Sometimes you luck out and he just has them out there and they're just a little bit wet. You just have to learn to keep your stuff up. That's the moral. Keep your stuff out of Marshall's reach. So, I started a new project. I started this one on Thanksgiving. It's called Christmas at Winterberry Cabin, and I looked all over my craft room and I cannot find the picture from the pattern, and I apologize about that. But I think I'm doing this on 36 count, and I'm doing it 1/2. And I think the wagon was supposed to be a brown, but I decided to try the red for something different. There's supposed to be a snowman on that wagon underneath that there hat, but my white isn't showing up very good on the fabric, and so I wanted to get something that would be a little bit more exciting. So he's not an invisible snowman. He will be there when I get the right color thread. So I'm liking the way it turns out. I think this is the end. There's going to be a December 25th sign at the top. And then this is, of course, a Santa holding a lantern. And then there's a couple little random trees on the other side of him. So I think I'm like, I don't know, maybe halfway done. I was doing thought we would do a sal with Lisa from Lisa's Stitching Stable. She's got a real fun Flosstube. If you haven't watched her, you should check her out. We started a sal on Instagram. So if you have the pattern and you want to join along with us, you're welcome. I think it's hashtag Winterberry Cabin Sal. I think there's only like 2 posts to it or whatever, but anyway, it was fun to start that. I think I've worked on it a little bit almost every evening after work. So on my last video, I talked about going to Amish country, which we did. And I did purchase some fabric, and I got up on a Monday morning, not this Monday, but since the last video. I woke up on a Monday morning, it's my day off, and I thought, okay, today's the day we're going to make that quilt. And I didn't want to go into looking at the feathered quilt because the feathered star block that I talked about doing, the fabric that I purchased, there was just way too many colors, and I didn't know how I was going to make that work out. So there was just a simple block that I've been wanting to just make a scrap quilt for a while. And it's just a simple 16 patch, super simple. And I've been talking about doing it for a while, and I thought I just want to get one finished. because I thought this was going to say Christmas, but it doesn't say Christmas. When it's all said and done, it kind of says more patriotic. So I like the quilt. It's not as exciting as I wanted it to be, but I think it'll be better for more like a patriotic kind of color quilt to put up. So I'll just kind of like show a little bit of it. I'm not going to stand up and move the camera, but I just took the pattern from a Thimbleberry book that I had. So anyway, this was all fabric out of one line. And I even bought the blue fabric that I had gotten in the bundle as a border. But then when it was all said and done, I don't know, I'm just not thrilled with it. I'm still going to finish it. I got it finished that day. I just stayed in my sewing room the majority of the day and just putzed around on it and watched Flosstube. So, I mean, it was a very enjoyable day, but it wasn't exactly as exciting when I put it up in my dining room. It just didn't really speak to me, so I put my other quilt back up, and that's what I'm going to decorate with. So I do have a few other little things to talk about. Maybe I'll just try to squeeze it in. I think I have like 4 minutes before I can't upload, so I'll just try to keep an eye on the time. I did go to the thrift store the other day, and I found a stacking set of these boxes. So I think I got like this size that grade 8's down, like 3 more. It's a set of 3. And then there was 3 in this other set. And I got them all for $2. So I'm thinking about trying to do some covered boxes. So that's going to be one of my next projects that I really want to work on. I did find something, I don't know if you're familiar with treenware. It's supposed to look like old wooden carved things. Anyway, I found this. It was originally $21.99 at the store, and I found it for $1. But it has a blemish on the center, but I had purchased it to mount some cross stitch in anyway, so I thought, well, that doesn't bother me at all. So I was excited about that purchase. Got to find something that'll fit in there. And then the same day that I got the sheep, I found this wonderful bolt of fabric. I think the tag said 7 5/8. So it was $5 for the whole thing. Couldn't believe it. I just felt like I had won the lottery. So it's kind of a toile fabric. And so I'm thinking it's going to be my kitchen and dining room curtains. And then I also have a skirt underneath my farm sink that I need to put a curtain on, because we didn't put cabinets or anything underneath there. It's just going to be an open thing to store cleaning stuff. So I thought, well, with that much fabric, I just have one window and 2 little valances to go on patio doors, and then that curtain. So I'm pretty sure I could get that in that much fabric. We're hoping. I did find some other fabric that I think if I tea-dye down a little bit, it'll go with it also. So I've got a whole lot of stuff to be productive on. Now, whether I get it all done or not, that's a whole different story. But so far, I feel pretty good about the state of my Christmas preparations. But I hope everybody's having a great day. I wish I had had more exciting things to share with you today. I don't know. Sometimes after work, I just sit down and think, boy, I'm just going to do a whole lot. And then I sit down and that's it. But I hope y'all have had a great Thanksgiving and enjoy this coming week. And I hope you join me again. Take care.